Inklings and Goombas, Pikmin of all ages, I'm Lincoln264, welcome to my room. So, the Switch is just a little over 6 months old now, and, well, put simply, it's turned into a pretty big hit. It's certainly doing much better than the Wii U did, and some people are even predicting that it can match the Wii's success. Sum it up to say, the Switch is doing okay. But, if you're a really anxious person like me, you may be wondering what Nintendo's next move might be. Obviously, the Switch is here to stay as far as the foreseeable future can tell, but what happens when the Switch gets old and people are ready to move on? What happens when the last units are selling and moving into people's closets? What comes after the Switch? Before I dig into that question, I think it's important to look at Nintendo's history, and specifically, the history of the relation between their portable and home consoles. Since they moved away from arcades in the mid-80s, Nintendo has always had a delicate balance between their home and portable console markets. At the same time Super Mario Land was coming out for the Game Boy, Super Mario Bros. 3 was available on the NES. While A Link to the Past was making its way to the Super NES, Link's Awakening found its home again on the Game Boy a little while later. While you could play Four Swords on the Game Boy Advance, you could also play Four Swords Adventure on the GameCube. Mario Kart DS and Mario Kart Wii came out on very close release dates, and of course, no one can forget that Smash 4 came out for both the 3DS and Wii U. And of course, the two sides of the Nintendo portable/home console coin have each always had their own exclusives. Since its inception, the core Pokemon games have been strictly on handheld units, with a few minor spin-offs coming to home consoles here and there. On the flip side, all the core Pikmin games have always been on home consoles, with the one spin-off game, Hey Pikmin, coming to 3DS recently. Animal Crossing, in recent years, has stuck to a portable market, and the Metroid Prime games were on the GameCube and Wii. Even though this model of a dual console market was pretty cool for the two different kinds of playstyles, a lot of the times there would be a significant majority of people that would want to play a certain game on the go, but instead would be confined to playing it at home. Or on the flip side, there would be a certain majority of people that would want to play a certain game in the high-def, ultra-lounge setting of their TV living room, but instead would be confined to a tiny screen. Let's look at an example, Super Mario Maker. When that game came out for Wii U, I was absolutely in love with it. Every time I sat down to make a new level, it almost never felt like a chore. The way that game took the process of level design in a video game and made it so much fun still blows my mind to this day. But when that game came out, you know what was missing? Portability. That's what. I desperately wanted to be able to start creating a level on my Wii U at home and then transfer my work in progress over to my 3DS and take it with me. I'm glad that they eventually did bring a port of Mario Maker over to the 3DS, but there was no fluency between that port and the Wii U version. I couldn't continue the level I started on my Wii U by bringing it over to my DS. So that was an example of a game I desperately wanted on one side of the coin, but couldn't have. There are many other games like such that I'm sure many people feel the same way about. And so it was, leading up to the October of 2016, this deep history of portable and home consoles made by Nintendo, intertwined at some points, but completely separated at others. But then, it happened. The big reveal, the massive trailer, showing off what would no longer be called the NX, but instead, the Nintendo Switch. I know that when I first saw the guy in this trailer pop the Joy-Con off the grip, into the Switch, and remove the Switch from the dock to take it on the go, I lost my mind. And so many other people did too. In the months of speculation leading up to the Switch's release, everyone was ecstatic at the supposed merging of the two dimensions of Nintendo, the bridge between the gap of portable gaming and TV gaming. Fast forward to the present day, and I think that you'll agree with me that the Switch has absolutely delivered on the promise of that first reveal. I mean, the transition from playing on the Switch screen itself to playing on your TV is almost seamless, and vice versa. There's no worrying about save data being transferred over or game files being lost, or some sort of cumbersome switch between modes menu. It's just right there, ready to go whenever you want to, with no strings attached. The ability to switch between these two parallels is incredible. And that's what brings me to my main point. Where will Nintendo go next? Without a doubt, Nintendo is not strange to the idea of coming up with newer, more graphically impressive upgrades to their hardware. They made plenty of variations for the DS and 3DS line, 10 in fact, so I think that making an upgraded or possibly cheaper downgraded version of the Switch is a good prediction. But that's not what I'm getting at. You see, eventually, the Switch and whatever upgrades that Nintendo comes up with for it will be old hat. It happens with every console, and the Switch in 5, 6, 7 years will be no exception. And on that front, I think that Nintendo has backed themselves into a corner. Imagine this. It's the year 2025, and E3 is coming. It's been rumored for a while that Nintendo will announce a new console that will represent their side of the 10th generation of console gaming. And then it happens. In a spectacular computer-animated trailer, Nintendo shows off their new console and gives it a release date for the holiday season. It has graphical capability, a plethora of launch games, and a gimmick exclusive to the console. However, since Nintendo has to communicate to consumers that this is in fact very different from their last console, the Switch, they make it, by no uncertain terms, very clear that this will be played, and only played, on your TV. And with the announcement of this new console comes the end of a one-generation tradition of hybrid Nintendo gaming. There will be no more easy transition from playing in the comfort of your living room to playing with the portability of a handheld. There will be no more playing multiplayer games out in public without buying multiple consoles or bringing your TV with you. Do you see my point? Regardless of whether Nintendo comes out with a home console or portable console in 7 years, it's going to feel like a step backwards. It doesn't matter what games that Nintendo comes out with after that point. Everyone who had a Switch will want those old days back. Those days when we could play Metroid or Zelda or Mario or Pokemon however we liked. This is a really weird thing to hear myself saying about any console in the entire world. But I think that Nintendo has come up with an idea so perfectly executed in the Switch that any other idea that they can come up with will seem like a downgrade. So, what will Nintendo do when the time comes when they have to flip the Switch to step away from the Switch? Put simply, I don't know. I don't think Nintendo knows either. Quite honestly, I don't think they care yet. I mean, right now, the Switch is doing very well, as I said. They are absolutely nailing the timing and the schedule of the games that come out, to the point where a new one comes out almost monthly. So, I guess that's a bridge that they aren't concerned about at the moment. And I guess it's a bridge that they'll just cross when they come to. But, let me tell you for sure, once they do come to that bridge, they're going to have to do a heck of a lot of work to cross over it. And I sincerely hope that they can make it to the other side. Well guys, thank you so much for watching my video. You don't even know how much I appreciate it. Tell me, what do you think? Do you think that making the Switch to the next console will be as hard as I say it is? Or do you think I'm making a big deal and it's not even going to be that difficult for Nintendo? Let me know down in the comments. And hey, I have an assignment. If you're watching this 6, 7, 8 years in the future and Nintendo's next console has come out, comment below and tell me how wrong I was in the year 2017. Anyways, guys, again, thank you so much for watching my video. And if you're new to the channel, I'm Link264. I talk about everything Nintendo, Nintendo Switch, whatever Nintendo's next console is, whenever that comes out in just over half a decade. And if you're interested, make sure you subscribe so you can catch all my latest content that comes out. I try to come out with 2 videos a week. While you're here, guys, make sure that you like, share, comment, all that awesome stuff. It really helps support the channel so I can come out with more videos to give to you guys so we can interact and have a good time. Anyways, guys, what are you still doing here?